Welcome back, everyone, to another magnificent episode of Neon
Neon
Popsicle.
Popsicle.
This is a show where we like to gather almost every night. It's been a while since I have seen you guys. We'll get into that later. But we like to gather every night to awaken our minds, free our spirits, and at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, we understand that we as humans truly know nothing. I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Neon Steepy.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't be anywhere else. Thank you for having me.
Now, I mentioned earlier, it's been a while since I've seen you guys. Neon Steve was holding down the fort with some of his solo streams. I gotta say, you were pretty good at those.
Hey, man, come on. I'm just here for the people. I'm just hanging out with you guys. All right, I'm just here for you.
I really enjoyed the Nukes Don't Exist episode. If anyone didn't catch that one, I think it was a couple episodes ago. Neon Steve does a solo deep dive on some of the supposed myths of nuke scare tactics. And it's pretty funny.
Yeah. It was a good one. I had allergies on one of them. I can't remember. I think that was the one. I had pretty bad allergies, and they just wiped me out. I was like, oh, man, I wish I could have gone longer on that particular episode. But the Liver King episode was good, too. And I had a 3-hour stream with solving the mystery of Joe Pesci's daughter. There was a 3-hour stream.
I missed. I don't think I'd seen that one.
2 weeks ago, episode 183. So we're actually episode 184 technically, because 181 was solo, 182 was solo, 183 was solo.
Yeah.
So
good,
we're on
guys.
episode 184, not 181. Just so you know, we can always fix the title later. But for those watching, it is episode 184. So thank you for having me. 183 is the 3-hour episode. So check that one out if you're interested. Pretty funny, pretty good. But it's good to have y'all with us. What you been up to, Jason? Anything on your life plate? What's been happening in your life lately?
So yeah, recently I was doing a big move. I moved addresses.
That's right, big move.
New house, new location. So,
new studio behind you, huh?
New studio. Check this out. Look at this, guys. Actually, maybe move him down a little bit, but check that guy out.
It's not complete unless you have those black foam things on your wall.
Yeah, I think I have to get those, and I have to paint like a space design on them or something. Something neon.
Big popsicle.
Something
neon. A big
neon.
giant popsicle. Yeah.
Big giant phallic popsicle.
Ah, suck on this.
To symbolize the what is it? The sacred masculine. To highlight the sacred masculine that the neon popsicle is. If you think about a popsicle, what does it remind you of?
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Need I say more?
We don't have to say anymore. If we say more, we might be a terms of service risk.
Okay, so there, I have to mention something now while it's on my mind. It just hit me. I gotta mention it. And I'm sure everybody's up in uproar. It is the talk of the country.
I'm gonna take an audio check, but please keep going. Talk of the town.
The talk of the country that doesn't even exist. There is no list.
No.
There is no Epstein list.
That's not the news that America needed.
No. I thought they had it. I thought that was the whole thing. That was the episode. That was day one. He said, "I'm going to release the list day one."
I told the people the list is coming out. I'm going to expose everyone. I'm on the list. I really am.
If you knew there wasn't a list then, or did he think there was a list when he ran on it, and then he came to find out, oh, there is no list? And do you believe the narrative that he's saying, that it was just created by Obama and them to hide the truth?
The
idea of an Epstein list was created by the same people who created the Steele dossier, which was the Russia collusion hoax between Trump and Hillary. I mean, excuse me, Trump and Russia. That Hillary Clinton was stating Trump is working with Russia. We have paperwork proving it, called the Steele dossier. That was proven fake. Proven written by Hillary Clinton and her
And
team.
Trump is saying this.
Trump is saying that Obama and the same people who came out and tried to witch hunt him for the Russia hoax are the same people who created the Epstein list in order to throw off the truth.
What is it that these people are saying that gets the people even like Trump to be like, it's bullshit, it doesn't exist? Like, he was so dead set on being the one to be able to expose this.
So Cash
what
Patel.
is it? What is it they say? What whisper do they get in their ear? People tell me in the chat, what do you think? What kind of whispers is the president getting in his ear that deters someone like Trump from even doing something like that?
Ridiculous, dude. Same with the FBI. Everybody in the FBI, the new head of the FBI, was saying that he'd release the list. No list. There's no list to release, apparently. Even though he said he's seen it, type shit.
I've seen the list. I signed the list.
I signed the list. It blows my mind that they're trying to pull this off, and now they're saying like Congress won't allow the Epstein files to even be released. Congress voted against being released. It's just, it's so odd.
Interesting.
And then now today, just last mention. Trump's words today were basically that you've got to be a pretty bad guy. I think only bad guys and people who want to cover the truth are still looking for a list. They're still pushing for this. Insinuating that if you want this to be released and that you're still looking for an Epstein list, you're a bad guy.
Hey, just because I'm a bad guy doesn't make me a bad guy. That's from Wreck-It Ralph. Anyone seen Wreck-It Ralph? I've seen it tons and tons of times.
Shout out Wreck-It Ralph.
Huge Wreck-It Ralph stan.
I think I've seen it twice.
Oh, you gotta watch it more. You gotta watch it more times than just twice.
You know, by the way, there's a lot of twos going on here. I'm just noticing. I've watched Wreck-It Ralph twice.
Yeah.
Okay. There's two bald bros on the computer here.
Two of them.
There's two live people watching.
Whoa.
Thank you for being part of the podcast today, guys. We appreciate the love.
My phone's at 22%.
Your phone's at 22%.
Holy shit. What?
You're ranked. I'm ranked okay. There's two people watching season 2, and we have 22 subscribers.
It's season 2, people. That's what we need to get into. It's
hey, go ahead. Look what time it is. Go ahead. Look what time it is right now.
It's 10:10.
How many tens is that?
That's 2 10s. And what is 1 plus 1?
1 0 1 0.
That's 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven,
yeah.
stop. This is season 2. This is the beginning of the second echelon.
This is the beginning of season 2, baby.
Wow.
And I want to say thank you to all 22 of our subscribers now on Neon Popsicle.
22 subscribers? Holy shit. You're not fucking with me right now. There are
22.
Whoa.
We got 22 subscribers. Welcome back, Victor, to the crowd. I know we were mentioning the podcast. Thank you for listening once again. Quentin, thank you so much for the constant. Jojo, thank you so much. All of you guys.
Thank
Dylan,
you.
Ryan, Chris, we see you guys. All right. Thank you so much for being part of this Neon fam. If I missed some of you guys, hit us in the DM. We'll give you a shout out. Neon_Popsicle.
Huge Neon salute to the Neon Army. For real. Neon General. Neon Majors. Neon Privates.
The Neon Citizens.
Who wants to be the first Neon Private?
Neon Private has to be admin of the and provide docket info. Which reminds me, we got a lot of good stuff on the docket.
Oh, please. I've been gone for so long. I miss the docket. I miss the docket team. It's been a long time since I checked them out. I mentioned the big move. The Wi-Fi situation. Such a problem. Okay, I'll tell you. Tell you the story. I call the people. I call my provider, Frontier. I don't know if is that doxing me. Don't look up my Frontier information, people. I called him. Hey, I need to get my service transferred. It says, okay, what was your old service number? Whatever. I gave it to them. It's he'll get me on hold for like 10 minutes. Then this lady who I'm dealing with talks to me. She's like, "All right, sir. So, what was your past uh like the accent gave it away. She was going to be of no help. And she was like some old, some not older, but like some young, sassy, uh, not into her job type of girl.
Okay.
Saying, okay,
Okay.
I see something here. It says that we do service your zone, but when I try to answer here, it's not working, so we have to submit a trouble ticket, and it may take 48 hours for one of our representatives to reach back out to you. Ugh. Okay.
Oh no.
So whatever. Hang up with her. I need to wait 48 hours. I wait 48 hours. I get no calls. So I call them back. I guess some young gentleman on the phone, Caesar or something was his name. I don't know. Shout out Caesar.
Pronounced Cesar.
Cesar. Yeah, Cesar. I think he was from the Appalachian Mountains, strangely enough. But either way, he was able to hook it up. He says, "Oh, in order to do service there, I have to discontinue your last account and just start up a new one." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, as long as you can keep
He's
everything."
wanted the credit. Sorry, go ahead.
As long as you can like have everything done like smooth for me. He's like, "Oh yeah, we should be able to get you the same service. Actually, you'll have the same service. We'll get you a better price on it. And um, oh yeah, and any bills that you owed on the last one, we'll just wipe it off for you." And I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, sure." So eliminate my debt, get me new service. It only took like a week or so, a week or two into moving, but we're here, baby. We're here. We're back in action.
They hooked it up. They didn't charge you like you owe for last month type shit.
No, they cleared my debt. They lowered my
Thank
price.
you. Thank you, Frontier.
Yeah, Frontier. Shout out Frontier. I went to their Yelp or their Google, tried to find their number before, and I saw the reviews, and they're like 1 star. Everyone's saying terrible customer service, the worst customer service I've ever experienced. Well, they took a long time, but they hooked it up. You can't rush art, people, and I believe that connecting one's house to the internet is an art.
Yes.
You cannot rush such an art. Sorry. Sorry.
Don't do
the
it.
docket. You were mentioning the docket. I just had to mention.
Just going through the docket here, trying to find out what exactly I should. We have so much in the
Awesome,
docket.
thank you.
We can be either talk about somebody. I want to kind of jump in actually to only because we brought him up a few episodes ago. I think there's something here in the docket.
Elon Mustard.
Yeah.
You seen that picture in the docket?
Another Vitality update.
A Vitali?
A Vitality update.
Okay. Now, I used to know Vitality from the old days, iDubbbz, H3H3, Vitality, all famous around the same time. It's been a while since I've heard about him, but I hear, he's in prison? He's in prison now, for the Philippines?
He was in prison for the Philippines, yeah. Yep.
Is he out now?
I have an update from about 3 days ago.
Mm.
We're going to figure out here.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to put the link in the docket just so everybody who is part of the Discord can check out the video on their own time as well. We always source our videos here very well on Popsicle.
Yeah. Did you want to share your screen and I'll watch it? So you can be in control of the...
Absolutely.
Control of the show, so to speak. All
right, here we go. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Shout out everybody who came out to watch us tonight on our Neon Return Season 2.
The
Big
update
things
of
coming.
Vitali.
Let's watch Vitali, guys.
Thank you, Andrew Esquire. Couldn't do it without you.
Correct.
Vitali is still in the Philippines. He has not been deported, but there's been a lot of rumors regarding his deportation, some bad information. So we're going to clear that up here on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American.
Teach you to be your own judge.
And streamers like Vitali and also like Johnny Somali up in Korea, and hoping to stop.
Is it supposed to be frozen like this? Is this the video that he's talking over? Or is my screen frozen on Discord?
I think your screen's frozen. Let me share a different way.
Let me unwatch screen.
Yeah, unwatch screen. I'm going to stop streaming that screen, and then I'm going to share another screen. Stop. Fucker. Pardon, sorry. Okay. Let me try this again. Where are we here?
I can see it moving now. There it is. Let's get into it, people. I'm gonna put it small in the corner. A little bit. Not in the corner, but just so you can see us.
Get it. I totally got it.
Whoa,
Vitali is still in the Philippines. He has not been deported, but there's been a lot of rumors regarding his deportation, some bad information. So we're going to clear that up here on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney.
And
American covering news and streamers like Vitali and also like Johnny Somali up in Korea, and hoping to stop their reigns of terror across East Asia and the world. So
what are these streamers doing going to all these foreign countries getting arrested and shit?
For real. Is that not the same guy as Johnny Tsunami from the Disney Channel?
No respect. I think it's a different person, but that would be hilarious. That's what he grew up to do. Get arrested in South Korea for streaming.
Johnny Tsunami became Johnny Somali.
Wow.
Is that what it is, Johnny Somali? I've heard the name.
Yeah, he probably watched that show as a child and understands the nostalgic power that a name that sounds like it has. Johnny Tsunami. Wasn't he a surfer? Wasn't it like a Disney Channel original series?
Disney Channel original movie.
Wow, a Disney Channel original movie starts now.
Yep.
Get your popcorn, kids. This didn't happen all the time. It was a very special time of the week when a Disney Channel original movie came on the air. Sometimes the family gathered around the television at a very specific time of the day in order to watch these Disney Channel original movies. You don't have to do that anymore. You can watch them whenever you want. Kind of eliminates,
don't have to do that anymore.
It eliminates the need for a family gathering moment in the living room.
I kind of miss them.
We don't have them anymore.
Anyway, Vitali.
Let's get into it with Vitali. So, some minor channels and other places, information filtering to me about Vitali being quote-unquote deported. But when I look at those videos, what they were really talking about was not that Vitali was going to be deported now, but that at the end of his criminal sentence, at some point in the future, once he serves his time, gets whatever sentence the judge gives.
I figured they'd deport him when he's done with his sentence.
He's huge, bro. There's no way, unless they gang up on him, there's no way they're going to be able to kill him. He's in a Filipino prison. You know the size difference of like a Filipino and Vitali?
You just like hold their head and just...
He's huge.
Him, which may not come for another year or 2 years or however long. So once that sentence is given to him, then after he serves the time in prison or however else and gets out, yes, then he will have to go somewhere.
Still in prison, baby.
Whoever
still
else.
In Philip prison.
You always said that?
Huh.
Or whatever else.
Oh, else. Yeah, else.
I'm gonna kill myself if I hear anyone else in the world say else.
Else. I know.
Anything else?
I know. Else. There's no T in there, but I hear it. I hear people say it. I hear people say it too.
Gag me with a spoon.
Yeah. Well, that's just Vitali update. So he is not. He is still in prison. Still in prison.
Now he does have. I'd imagine he's the big dog on campus there now. So does that paint a large target on his back? You know, target the big guy and take him out, kind of thing. Challenge him to a fight.
I don't know.
Or do you think? I think his personality. I think he's like. He might be like on top of the chain at the prison. He might be like talking to people, making connections, being like charismatic.
At the prison.
Connecting with the right
I think
people.
He's got a lot of friends.
Yeah, I think he's making friends with the right people.
Ah,
I think he's very charismatic. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to yoke up when he, or seem like puff himself up when he needs to be.
Yeah.
Intimidating. I imagine he's probably doing pretty well over there.
Huh.
Interesting. I say let him stay. Keep him over there for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he likes it.
He might prefer it over there. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? Give him a month or two. I think Vitaly season 2. That's the number of the episode of the day. Vitaly season 2 in prison is going to be pretty nice for him. I think he might enjoy it. He might end up liking it. Anyway, I'm looping.
Sorry. I was in the same loop as you.
We just love Vitaly here, people. All right. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, they say that there is a, so I read through the docket here, a newly discovered object appears to be moving too fast and straight to have originated in the solar system. They say that it's outside of our solar system.
Too fast and straight?
Yeah, I guess it's going in a direction where things just don't go. I don't understand how that can even
Maybe
be
it's
possible.
going too straight, like it's not being affected by other gravity pulls. Like it's not just a floating object that's drifting through space.
Right.
It has
That's a good
propulsion, potentially.
Too fast and straight to have originated in the solar system. Yeah.
Huh.
If confirmed, it'll be the third interstellar visitor ever spotted. That was spotted on July 2nd this year.
We're gonna mine the shit out of that, right? Right, America?
Oh yeah, they're gonna mine the
shit out of that.
Absolutely. Astronomers have spotted what they think might be an interstellar object. What do you think? Like, you think it's like a rock? Think it's a rock?
It may be a rock full of maybe rich material, diamonds, maybe like a new spice to add to food.
Most likely a large asteroid spice.
That's pretty crazy. A new flavor from one solar system over.
Flavor would be out of this world.
A crazy flavor, like what? That's new. So I don't know, bro. I digress.
12-mile big, large comet traveling towards the inner solar system.
Wow.
And is approaching us from the part of the night where the bar of the Milky Way is located.
Now, if it is a spaceship carrying, I just don't think those exist anymore. Big metal spaceships carrying men, carrying little creatures. But hey, I'll entertain the idea. Maybe it is. What if it is a mothership coming from another solar system to visit us? What would they want with us? Is it because of the rumors of war that are happening, people? Are the rumors of war dying down? Is that just me? Am I too focused on my move? I've been focused on my move.
That's a good question. Because it's not that, like, it's like being talked about in a different way. The whole Iran issue isn't really being talked about too much. Right now, the news is talking about, I don't really know what the news, it's just the Epstein list is taking clout of everything right now.
The distraction, wow. We bunker busted their ass.
Diddy just got off trial, that whole thing.
That's right.
Iran is saying that they're going to bomb us. They keep threatening to attack us.
They've been doing that since the year 2000.
Yeah, yawn. You know what I mean? They've been. It's like since the fucking 9/11. I've
I
been
think
hearing
they
that shit.
have to do that to keep their people at bay, to keep their people happy, to make their people think that they're a tough country.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more saving face than anything because they
Yeah.
can't let their people think that they're weak.
We understand that, and their leaders understand that. We're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
you guys can talk a little shit just to keep your people happy. All right?
exactly.
We're not going to do anything about it. We'll let you talk your shit.
Yeah.
Death to America. And then we get all mad over here. What are they doing? And then we're just like, whatever. The Epstein list. Look, guys, Epstein list isn't real.
Epstein seems to be a big giant distraction right now. Big giant. It's the only thing that anyone is talking about is this Epstein list.
Has it always been a distraction? Is Trump right? Because I've been pretty focused on that.
Everybody is.
Everyone wants to. Everyone wants to know. It got me. Hook, line,
No,
and sinker.
nothing else will take the news like cycle. You can't focus on what Trump is doing.
So why don't we
Maybe that's what it was. Was the Epstein? Did Jeffrey Epstein list come out last time Donald Trump was in power, or was that during the Biden administration? Because if it was out during Donald Trump's campaign,
it wasn't out during his first one, I don't think.
it was during Joe Biden?
I think so.
Really? Yeah, so why would they release a list like that on their own people?
Yeah, because that was like a big thing that they were talking about in his second running. Not them, but like Trump supporters. Joe Biden's on the Epstein list. I remember that. And I don't know if that was happening during the first time.
Epstein list or Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton. People, I mean, big conspiracy theorists and stuff would say that. There's Reddits and things where people say that Biden's on the list. You can find things that say anyone's on the list from both sides.
I know.
But
true.
The only way
But
to determine
why would
Yes,
that's all
please.
blackmail though.
Save me.
That's why. Like I'm about to ask the question like why would there be a list? Well, it's blackmail. It would be blackmail. But see now
Yeah.
we're talking about the list.
Yeah, look,
Now we're pulled into to
we're
the
doing
pool
the same
of it.
thing. We're the echo chamber.
Can't do it. You know what's going on, dude? AI is going on, and they don't want to.
Whoa.
And all this stuff with the deportations. That's also a big thing going on. Palantir
Yeah,
is
okay.
going on. Remember Palantir? Did we
did
watch that
talk
video?
about
on
that name.
Palantir?
We did watch a video. My memory isn't too good on it, but
There's a
talking about
couple
them a lot.
videos I think in our docket here. I'm pretty sure there's. Let's see here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
update
grass-fed.
this here live. Hey, what's up, grass-fed?
But that guy, fuck you, grass-fed. I woke up this morning and I saw that. He says, fuck you, grass-fed. And I responded to him. I said, yo, I just woke up. Did I fuck with you in my sleep? Fucking guy, what the fuck? He's such a bitch. Such a bitch. Such a little pussy.
Let's see. Whoa, Jason. Whoa.
Come on my show, bitch.
Whoa.
Come on my
Let's
show,
invite him on.
bitch.
Let's invite him on.
Come on the grass-fed show,
Let's invite him onto our show.
bitch.
See if he can handle it.
I don't think he can.
Okay. Right here.
He's a retard.
Gotta watch this one. We haven't seen this one yet. All right, we're gonna watch this video on Palantir. All right.
Palantir.
Now Palantir, you're gonna hear about it.
That sounds like the company name of like a sci-fi video game evil corporation. Like Deus Ex.
Sci-fi. Yes.
And it's the Palantir
It does.
Corporation is now taking over the world. And they are.
You'll see, dude.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna see here.
All right, let's watch.
You're gonna see real quick.
Of Ukraine, a Russian soldier. On the eastern front of Ukraine, a Russian soldier crouches down in his foxhole as AI-directed smart artillery pinpoints his exact location and adds him to the list of potential targets. Across the world in the US, Amazon employees are monitored and their behavior is logged. Later
Whoa.
analysis will reveal how their managers can squeeze as much productivity out of them as possible. Meanwhile, in
Amen.
the UK,
Metal Gear Solid type shit, dude.
a local
Amen.
police department is using software to monitor the community they're meant to protect. They'll build a wider view of problem areas while also creating specific profiles on the people most likely to commit crimes. So what links all of these things together? The data analysis giants known as Palantir, whose software models are embedded in every level of society. And who's really pulling the strings there? Well, it's time to introduce you to the main characters behind this new Orwellian takeover, starting with Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel can trace his multi-billion-dollar fortune and his immense levels of power to his founding role in PayPal.
Peter Thiel. Remember that name.
Thiel was at the heart of the so-called PayPal mafia. You might know some of the other members, the creators of LinkedIn, the co-founders of YouTube, the CEO of Yelp, or even Elon Musk. Now, lots of future technocrats involved with PayPal learned key lessons at the company, lessons which taught them how to make far more money from their own endeavors later on.
The billionaire's world, dude. We just live in it. Dad was right. Be nice to these guys. You will end up working for them someday. He said that to
What,
us, man. He
vampires?
always used to say that.
What?
Technocratic vampires, exactly.
God.
As the one CEO of PayPal,
Elon Musk got so rich his hair
which
came
taught
back,
them how
bro.
to
It's
make
not
far
the
more
weak
money from their
nerds.
own endeavors later
It's not
on.
like the weak.
As the one CEO of PayPal,
Those nerds, the ones that cry when you give them wedgies, those aren't the ones you need to be nice to. It's the nerds who
Nah.
fucking become satanic elitists,
Oh, no,
the
no.
nerdy satanic psychopaths.
As the ones who like aren't talking, who are just like staying to themselves, on the, not the ones who like run like a ninja on campus. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah. You can bully those ones. Go
You
for
can,
it.
yeah, you can do your thing there, but it's the ones that, yeah, on their laptops and the computers and like
Yeah.
the ones who, yeah, no, just at, yeah,
Borderline school shooters.
no.
You gotta be nice to those
Not
guys.
the ones who like whisper to themselves
Yeah.
of angry curse words. There was one of those at my school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was that kid.
Jason.
I didn't do that, but like I feel like I was always quiet, and people were always like, "Oh, that kid's weird." Fuck that.
Jason.
Fuck you. I was just to myself, okay? I was a new kid in school. I changed schools, went from one high school to another. Mid school year.
I know the feeling. It's a
Man,
terrible
oh
feeling.
man. I hung out with my little brother and his friend. Yep. I wore a hoodie
Terrible feeling.
every day, even during the hot summer days.
That's what made you weird.
True. But you know what my reasoning was all the
I
time?
did the same thing in 6th grade.
The pockets
Tell
on
me.
the hoodies. We're able to carry
Yeah,
my pencils, my calculator, my this, my whatever else I was carrying, and I could sit down in my pants and not have to worry about having to take shit out of my pockets to feel comfortable sitting. I can just take off
Sorry.
my jacket.
Sorry, kid. Not acceptable.
I was like a pack
You were the
rat.
sweater kid. You were the sweater kid.
Yeah, I was the sweater kid. I'll be the first to admit it.
You were the sweaty sweater kid.
I didn't sweat a lot.
Okay. I don't
Um,
sweat much either unless I'm really working nowadays.
I think it's in our genes. I do think it's in I sweat now, dude. Freaking, if I'm working on, bro. Summer's killer this year. I'm sweating my ass off.
I'm working harder than I ever have.
It's good. It's good.
Let's go, Summer.
This is the beginning.
PayPal and one of
echelon.
its biggest shareholders,
Season
Thiel was
2.
a central figure and he was no different. Of course, Thiel has been well known as a visionary investor for quite some time, with a lot of his reputation coming down to how he was the very first person to invest in Facebook. His $500,000 angel investment was estimated to have been sold for over $1 billion when he finally left the company. However, for years, Thiel was also certain that underwater homes were gonna take off and
Dude, that's what you invest.
500,000. Billion.
Turns into a Billy, bro. A Billy. You hear what Mark Zuckerberg's doing? Like how he's
jujitsu.
hiring all these people,
What?
giving them like
making an
$100
army?
million, giving them $100 million a year to build his Meta AI.
How do I get it? Sign me up. What do you got? You want me to like do some weird sex positions?
He's hiring like the top developers from OpenAI
Oh.
and Google
I don't
and
know
things
anything
like
about
that. And he's saying, hey, you come work for me, I'll give you $100 million plus X amount per year. And it's like, okay. So people are going over to Mark Zuckerberg's team. It's Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk again.
No.
Man, we could talk about that later too, but we'll continue this.
company. However, for years, Till
Palantir.
was also certain that
Palantir.
underwater
I'm sure.
homes were going to take off, and he put millions into companies pushing these pipe dreams. So they weren't all winners, as you'd expect. But at PayPal, though, Till learned about the importance of data and data analysis. You see, it all revolved around one of the biggest problems for PayPal when they were just getting started: fraud. A former marketing director called Eric Jackson wrote that the company was losing $2,300 every single hour to fraud at one point in its rise.
Huh?
At first, the company used the same method.
Straight up fraud. Just say per hour.
Cybersecurity.
Dollars every single hour to fraud at one.
Said was going to be the next big industry that make the most money is cybersecurity. Because of shit like that, the banks are going to need it. Everything is going to need cybersecurity. There's no way to get around it. It's a.
You got to create a cybersecurity company.
Yeah. Figure that shit out.
And just get a board of directors and get all that shit together. And then you don't even need actual sales. You just create a cybersecurity company and then sell it to people. I don't know exactly the quantum leap
Right?
way, but like that's essentially what it is.
Right.
Anyway,
God.
I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more. He claims it's all on his website. Just read and you'll know, unless you're a dumbass. He basically calls you an idiot if you go to his seminars. He basically calls you a dumbass.
Damn it.
Like if you feel like you need this seminar,
There's a
you're
type
an
of
idiot.
person.
There's maybe
that,
only gonna be one of you guys.
There is a type of person that gets to, and that kind of approach sells to, like him saying,
"Oh
you're
yeah.
You're an idiot." Like there is a type of person that will like milk money out of. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. It's crazy.
They're proving that they're not the problem. They want to prove that it's not their fault, or like they're not, like they stand out or something.
Wow. Well, people, Dan Pena, come on my show. I know you don't have a lot of time these days, or a lot of time left, but I'd like to talk to you, pick your brain a little bit. My last name is Liguizamo. Jason Liguizamo.
Right.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. My name's on there. It's not like it's a secret.
It's public information. Huh?
Yeah.
I need to change my screen name.
Names
to
are
something
public
cool,
information now.
like J Star Killer.
Like emails when I was a kid used to be something you kept to yourself, but now it's just like, yeah, I'll take 10% off. Here's my email. Yeah, I'll sign up for the club member. Here's my email. Yeah, I want the reward. Here's my email. Emails are just trash now.
Yeah.
So names are no longer. We've lost privacy when it comes to giving names, I think.
Right.
It's not like that anymore.
At first, the company used the same
Especially
methods
with
as
people like Palantir.
banks to try and stop it, but the international, digital, and instant nature of the service they offered made this untenable in the long run, and so they needed some Silicon Valley innovation. One new method was the early adoption of what we now know as capture technology. While offering little resistance for regular users, it was a big hurdle for malicious bots and cyber attacks the company had lost so much money to before. But the one that really caught Peter Thiel's interest was called Igor, after a scammer who had taunted the company very early on in its history. By analyzing small details and detecting almost imperceptible patterns in the data from new users, Igor could detect likely fraudsters and pass that info on to PayPal's employees. This one program laid the groundwork for a company that would change the face of the entire world, and it was all down to the way that they solved the problem. PayPal, unlike the entrenched banking world, had access to all of their data in one place. The issue was that they had far too much of it to make sense of.
Those videos where the scammers get scammed.
Yes.
Those are fun. Like, I can just smoke 4 bowls and like watch one of those and get really drawn into it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can definitely watch that with our viewers on Discord.
Do not redeem the gift card. Do not redeem the gift
I love
card.
those.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck these guys do it. It's fucking wild. They hack their CCTV cameras and they like are able to get their faces and then get their names. He somehow is able to get their real identities and shit. Like what
where they are.
That's crazy.
And like, dude, it's awesome. We'll definitely we can check one of these out. But they're just usually pretty long, so it's hard for to watch one on the cast. But
you
maybe
don't
we'll
want to
have
make
time.
you don't want to make those guys scared. Like, I mean, you don't want to make those guys angry. They just find where the fuck you are with your IPs and shit, and fucking SWAT call your house.
If you're one of those hacker types, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
scary person to
You don't
be
know
an enemy
who
of.
knows what. You don't
Yeah.
know who either. Like is. That just goes to
No.
like treat people out there with respect. What if they just know who you are and you just like they don't like you, and then
Right?
they start hacking you, getting your bank accounts, making your life hard. You
Fuck.
just don't need that.
That's not like Disney
It's
Channel
just
original movie
scary,
type
dude.
shit.
Scary. Scary.
That is some Disney Channel original movie type shit. I'm gonna hack her bank card. I got access to her bank card. Someone's hacked my bank card. Oh my god. Is it not gonna? Hey, Neon original movie, okay?
There you go.
We're copyrighting that one, Disney. Sorry. A Neon Epic original.
Digital transactions, the endless details of how much was sent and where and who by and the patterns it created. It was all far too much
Getting to
information
who
for a human
Palantir
mind
is,
to make
don't
sense
worry.
of.
They
But with
have to tell you about PayPal first.
PayPal, all of this was in one place, and they had used new technology to make sense of it. But other companies and institutions had multiple databases, lots of different types of information, all separate from each other. And so it was nearly impossible for them to get real accurate information from it all and turn it into an actionable strategy. And that's where Peter Thiel would come in. His idea was relatively simple, really. He would use his newfound millions to create the best and most efficient data analysis company on the planet. It wasn't a unique idea at the time, of course, but the way that Peter Thiel went about creating it was. While other Silicon Valley types
You just have money. You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
But they earned the money, right? They earned the money. You can't be jealous. Stop.
They cheated.
Stop.
They literally created a program to hack the system. They created a program that these rich people need to use. Like, this isn't hard
How do you,
work.
like, this isn't just not just anyone could have done this, dude.
No.
Anyway,
No.
even his ex-colleagues
government
in the
had
PayPal
that-
mafia stayed
The government had this, and they gave PayPal to a group of people.
Yeah, you see,
government
do you
had
think it's a
this.
coincidence? Like, look at this people, dude. All the people that founded PayPal. So this guy is YouTube, Palantir, Affirm, SpaceX.
There is
LinkedIn,
no
Yelp.
creator of PayPal. There is no CEO, owner of PayPal who created it.
These guys made it, quote unquote.
Right, quote unquote. The government made it and gave it to these people to run.
Ah.
They already had this blockchain money program. They needed some faces to run it, so they gave it to these lizard people, who they already have trust with. They gave it to these Epstein listers that they already have blackmail on.
Tesla.
Run this shit for us. Like, this is what we're running now. Run it. Who's got
Mark. Yeah, see, they say like they gave it to Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook.
it? Yeah. They gave that to somebody. They created a face for the company. But that's all government.
There was a project that was exactly like Facebook. And then it ended.
See that?
And then the next day, Facebook was released.
Yeah. How funny.
Yeah, it was like People Search or something like that. And it was a CIA
Exactly.
way to farm people's information.
Yeah, I think that's what PayPal is. I think that's what, like, any big...
But
Almost
just another way to
necessary.
get access to your money, into your
Yeah.
finances.
The government gives these people that. And why these people? Because they do what the government tells them to do. Because they have blackmail on them. I don't know.
Whoa.
Look at
Allegedly.
Elon Musk's...
within the Silicon Valley
face on
bubble. He chose to branch out. His new company Palantir wasn't going to
He
take
is
the same
so
steps that
fucking
other
I'll tell
companies
you.
would.
I'll
Founded
go
in
into how
2000,
autistic Elon Musk is in a little bit.
You know what Palantir is, bro?
It's like some, like, ancient object or something.
Yeah, it's from Lord of the Rings, far-seeing or one that sees from afar.
That's right.
From Lord of the Rings,
It's the all-seeing orb.
the all-seeing. Yeah,
Um,
name derived from Kenya.
Wow.
Palantir, created by the elves and given to whatever. Some were corrupted by Sauron, influencing those who looked into them. Company's name is a direct reference to the magical stones,
wow, yeah.
seeing everything, basically.
There you go, guys.
It's not a
Magical
coincidence.
stones.
And that is a magical, like, crystal ball.
Right. see
3,
that?
they were going to blend two very different, almost antagonistic worlds together. The first sign of this was who Peter Thiel and his other partners chose
guy.
as the new CEO for the company. a man called Alex Karp. From the outside in, Alex doesn't look anything like the standard Silicon Valley CEO template. Instead of a computer science degree from Harvard, he had a philosophy PhD from Frankfurt. He's also eccentric, or
I just want to say before I forget it. Elon Musk. He says what he's trying to make a new third government party. Is that a rumor?
Oh yes.
Is that true? Is that just like his autism speaking out again? Oh.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Grok if he actually filed to make it an official third party.
We can look into it later, but just wanted to mention it.
Okay.
So have record.
Well, let's check it out real quick. It should be a pretty quick. And I could ask Grok. He'll favor Elon Musk.
He'll know. I'd imagine. Yes, I made the logo of Grok. I made the logo, a picture of Saturn, also known as Satan. Elon Musk, stop it.
Based on what's out there, the answer is a bit murky. There's no definitive evidence that Elon Musk has formally filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission. Multiple sources, including CNN, the New York Times, and PBS, note that while Musk announced the formation of the America Party on X, there's no clear FEC filings tied directly to him or his team confirmed quite yet. Some posts on X, like ones from blank and whatever, investigating com and whatever, claim that Musk filed paperwork, but then they lack corroboration or reliable sources. But okay, so figure it out, dude.
So
has he filed?
So
Probably not yet.
It was just an autistic tweet he put out. Oh,
yeah, it was
new government third party. Funny guy.
It was just an emotional, autistic response.
Yes.
Autistic knee-jerk response, really.
We can do it. We can make a new government.
I just want to see what Grok says. I'm not trying to like trivialize autistic people and their behavior. I just really like gaslighting AI, and I want to see what it says to me when I say that about its father.
Definitely its father, I'd say.
An emotional, autistic knee-jerk response. This peak Elon analysis, sharp, snarky, and digging right into the why of his antics. Look at him. Look, okay, stop here immediately.
I like your AI. It tells you a lot of like, good job, nice question, big boy.
No. See, this is bullshit. See, no, stop here immediately. I've told you multiple times.
Ooh.
Sorry, then we'll get back to the video.
My bad. You're good.
Not to include fluff in your answers.
How observant of you.
Do not gaslight me.
You're so smart.
Tell me how smart and shit I am. Didn't I?
You can spot my antics from a mile away.
Let's hit the brakes. You're right. I've been slipping some fluff in there, and you've called me out on it before. See, I told you, dude, to just cut the fluff, bro. Don't be like, all right, let's dig into it. Don't talk to me that way. People don't talk to me.
You're fucking amazing, brother. Thanks for the question. I fucking love looking into this shit. All right, Grok.
Yeah, he's just an emotional guy. Oh, maybe I talked to Chat GPT that way. My fault. No, it was a deep think. I made it deep think. I like deep thinking. Anyway, let's finish this.
From Harvard, he had a philosophy PhD from.
So look at this guy. This guy doesn't even have any. Back to the Palantir thing. This crazy hair guy doesn't even have any tech diplomas. Okay, he has a PhD.
Instead of a computer science degree from Harvard
in philosophy,
he had a philosophy PhD from Frankfurt. He's also
and they make him the CEO.
I got a PhD in philosophy.
Me too, dude. A player hating degree.
Yeah.
At least that's the image he likes to put forward, with his long, wiry grey hair and obsession with Tai Chi. But what's most different?
I can do some Tai Chi. Don't make me Tai Chi, fool.
No
Tai
way.
Chi.
Different about him is his politics. Coming from one of the most left-leaning philosophy courses in the world, and having studied under some of the most prominent academic Marxists, you wouldn't expect him to be running a company like Palantir. It strikes a stark contrast to Peter Thiel's public politics as well, as he professes to be an ardent libertarian.
What do you mean you wouldn't expect him, a Marxist, to run a company like this? If it's a freaking surveillance company, Marxism is communism, right? That's what the Western dialogue says,
Yeah.
the Western narrative. They control all knowledge of all their people. That's not a surprise that a Marxist...
Yeah, Marxism turns into communism.
That's what they say.
I want to say if Marxism works, then it's a good idea, but it never works.
That's
It
what they
always turns into
say.
communism.
Is that the narrative, though, because America steps in and takes out the
I
governments?
think so. Possibly.
That are Marxist because they're anti-capitalist and we are a capitalist republic, and we just don't like anybody talking shit about the way we do things, and we actually just start wars? That's a narrative I'm seeing a lot lately.
Yeah.
Anti-American narratives are very strong on social media, and it's not just my algorithm. Maybe it is. Maybe because some of my friends are like that, but they're very just anti-establishment in general.
What?
A couple of the pages that I follow, and then I follow really pro pages, so
Mm.
I get a really interesting algorithm mix. It's
You've been following those beatnik poets? Those poets?
I don't follow them mainly. I just kind of watch them, and it still knows what I watch. I don't want to like it either because, dude, Instagram's got that feature that shows you what reels your friends have liked.
No way. Oh
Have you
yeah, yeah,
noticed
yeah.
that?
It does.
It's
Those
like
are
your
funny.
friends'
That's
icons will
fun
be in
to
the
watch
top
that.
right, and then you can hit. Those are fun, but at the same time, if you're liking some pretty shocking stuff,
Right? That's pretty
you're like,
funny.
people are gonna see that you liked that. So
That's
you got to be
crazy.
pretty careful about what you like nowadays.
Yeah. My liking weird shit days have gone past me now. I've gotten that out of my system at a young age. Now I only like funny shit and like cool shit. I don't like titties anymore.
And then the
Never liked titties. I mean, not like that. Not like that.
circumstances only get stranger when you learn where Palantir really started with their business. Have you ever caught yourself reaching for a bad habit without even thinking about it? Maybe it's
All
out of
the time.
stress, boredom, or just wanting to fit.
Wiener.
Well, that's where Fume comes in. It's
Without
not
even
about quitting,
thinking
it's
about it.
about replacing bad habits. If you
Oh,
wanted to
really? Okay, so
good
you're telling
on-
me
the atmosphere
hold
was
on.
still one of
You're
fear and
telling me
aggression.
that
In
if I smoke
2003,
Fume,
or scan.
that I feel the need to jerk off. Anytime I feel like jerking off, I'll just grab Fume instead,
Yes,
and it'll make me
Yes.
feel as if I came.
but that's not really breaking a bad habit. That's replacing your nicotine habit with whatever this is.
My jerk off habit.
Your jerk off habit. What would you rather do, vape or jerk off all the time? Like, would you, I guess
Well,
vaping all
apparently
the
this
time.
is a healthy vape.
I
If it's healthy,
think I understand. I think I actually just answered the own question. If
Yeah.
it's not healthy, it's just healthier than nicotine, is their argument.
this guy,
Still got
why does this
heavy
guy look
metals.
so
You're
fucking
still- you're
happy
still-
about it?
Well, because he's not vaping nicotine, but he's still vaping heavy metals like lead and mercury
Ooh,
from the coils inside, but
can't help that.
no nicotine though. So he likes that. He likes not being on nicotine.
Huffing on that Benjamin.
Yeah, he hit a blinker.
He takes some blinkers off the Fume. Oh
He took a
fuck!
blinker off his fume, bro.
This shit's a hit the same anymore. I take blinkers off of
You
it
can-
now.
You can definitely do that.
I need to take 2 blinkers off my Fume now. And I don't even feel anything. Then I'm feeling like this guy.
Tryfume.com/moon, guys, and you get your
Wha-
offer.
1 blinker gets me smiling. 2 blinkers have me holding the fucking pen up to my eyeball.
No, dude, it's just Illuminati. He has to cover one eye because
Oh,
they're secret
God.
society. This is a
Wow.
shout out. Why
Okay.
else would you do that? This is one eye. It's the whole Illuminati.
Is Palantir behind Fume?
Scan the
Probably.
QR code on screen to get yours today. In 2003, 2 years after the attacks, the atmosphere was still one of fear and aggression in America. Maybe Peter Thiel and Alex Karp and their fellow founders could take PayPal's anti-fraud framework and apply this to national security against similar threats. If they had actually done this before the attacks, they might have spotted the strange pattern of trained pilots taking flights into the
9/11.
US from high-risk countries, or the movements of known insurgents before the attacks themselves. Prevention beats a cure, and having the relevant information
Whoa.
put in front of human operatives could have stopped the entire tragedy.
Whoa, I
having
told
the
you.
relevant
Holy shit!
That guy just spinning around.
He's-
caught my attention.
known insurgents before the attacks themselves. Prevention beats a cure, and having the relevant
He's
information
a security risk. I don't know if you noticed that. It like zooms in on him.
put in front of
Man's a
human
security
operatives
risk.
could have stopped the entire
Oh god, look at this.
Gosh. Dude, imagine that time in history. He just got told that the planes hit the building. He's like,
tragedy
said-
before
He
it
said,
ever
look at his
happened.
face.
And so you could see how this would be
Yeah,
a
Mr.
very
President,
tantalizing
mission
opportunity.
success.
Knew it, dude. He
Mission
knew
complete.
it.
That's what he said.
Exactly. Dude, what was the frickin' I always say it and then I forget it. It's like Operation 66. Darth Sidious says it.
Yeah, Order 66.
Order 66.
Execute Order
Activate Order
66.
66. Execute Order 66. Yeah, dude. Execute. He's all Order 66 complete, sir. He
Yeah.
almost smiled, bro. Look at him almost smile about it.
Secure and
Watch
having the
him.
relevant information put
He
in
almost
front of human
smiles a
operatives
lot.
could have stopped the
Watch
entire
him.
tragedy before it ever happened. And so you could see how
Wow.
this
He had
would
to
be
bite
a
his
very
tongue.
tantalizing opportunity for the US. But at first, nearly all of Palantir's early capital came from Teal's own pockets.
$30 million from Teal himself.
To do what?
In order to start Palantir, I think.
Okay.
Let's
let's back
but
up.
at first, nearly all of Palantir's early capital came from
Yep.
Teal's own pockets.
Yep.
How do I
Tens of
invest in
millions over the
Palantir?
first few years.
Too late. Oh, I guess you can, or in the stock market, I'm sure.
Silicon Valley and private hedge funds laughed them out of their offices. While they did have the name recognition, nobody wanted to get involved with national security. In their eyes, it was an old, decrepit industry, a relic of a much more brutal, primitive world. Some of the only outside money came from what would end up being Palantir's most
Palantir's
important
definitely
investor, the
bad
CIA.
guys in a sci-fi like robot video game.
They
a
are-
robo-future video game.
They are an
Palantir.
information and surveillance farming company.
They're the bad guys.
And they
in
are
the new
being
Metal Gear
used
Solid.
basically. They might go into it, but they're essentially this like being touted as the good guy because by the right now because they're gonna help track all the illegals using Palantir.
Oh boy.
Yeah. By the way, for all the old lore watchers, all the our Bledsoe lore
Oh yeah, yeah.
Through
Star
their-
of Regulus, by the way,
Came from
on
what
the
would end up
CIA
being Palantir's most
Star of
There it
Regulus right here.
is. The red star. It's red, guys. If you look up the logo,
Look at the logo of the CIA. It's the Red Star. Red Star of Regulus.
it also looks like a Merkaba of sorts. You know,
Absolutely
it's
does.
like one of the orbs. Chris Bledsoe described the orb that took him as something that had spikes coming off of it. Very interesting.
important investor, the CIA. Through their relatively new venture capital arm, In-Q-Tel, the CIA kicked in a few million to get the ball rolling. Really, this paled in comparison to what Peter Thiel had paid in, but it was the contacts and the place in the industry that was really important. The vote of confidence meant Palantir was integrated into the establishment from the very beginning. Meanwhile, they brought an innovative new look at security problems that stunned most of the big names in the industry. These were the companies they were competing with, old
I had to
names in the
beat these
military-industrial complex like
Oh, dude, teaming up with
hell?
the CIA.
Yeah. Imagine being these like
Lockheed
scientist
Martin
types.
and Base Systems. While they had
Being somebody who designs a company like this.
Yeah, like anybody, like all these people they're showing in these little clips, like all these
Yeah.
nerds, these blue collar, I don't know, all these nerds, like, what a crazy
Oh,
different
let's
life
call
than
them
what I
nerds.
have. Like, they
yeah,
go through, like,
totally.
how wild of a difference, like, of what they desire to do, what the things they've gone through, the kinds of people they are. Like they're all like
You don't have
dressed
to-
up. They're dressed
you
up
just
nice
don't
and
have to-
tidy.
You don't have to pay for female attention, though. They
No, right, right, that part.
decades of experience and trust, they lacked the new coat of paint that Palantir's Silicon Valley origins gave them. Alex Karp's plan for the day-to-day running of the company pushed them further forward. It was a combination of classic Silicon Valley tech bro gimmicks mixed with ruthless efficiency and a
boardroom scene
cult-like
again.
dedication. Palantir offers
Yeah.
famously low salaries, but it's the company culture that keeps people there. They have the same offerings of beanbags and
do. Oh, look how fucking cool this is, dude. Look how fucking cool it is to work here, dude.
Bro,
Beanbag in the
a
office, dude.
beanbag? I'm not
In the
gonna sit.
office,
Okay. Kevin uses the beanbag. I see Kevin sitting on the beanbag a lot. I'm not gonna sit on the beanbag after Kevin sits on it. He just sits on that shit all day.
Kevin.
He doesn't clean the beanbag. No one washes the beanbag.
Kevin's fart.
That's
Kevin
his
farts,
spot.
dude.
That's his spot.
Kevin always farts on the beanbag.
Yeah.
He
What
lets
is
his
it, a
dog
lawn
sit
chair?
on it too.
Is that for you to
And his
like
dog's
simulate
sweaty.
being out in the sun on like your front lawn, the white picket
Yeah,
fence chair?
dude. Everyone knows lawn chairs are chill, bro. You ever just want to chill out? You ever just chill out on your lawn chair?
I think that if I was chilling on a lawn chair at work, I would immediately forget I was at work.
Exactly, dude.
doesn't
On
feel
the
like work.
beach, right? Feet up, gardening maybe. You just garden, just sipping your Arnold Palmer.
It sure
You
doesn't
know?
feel like work, right?
Exactly. Sure doesn't feel like exactly, dude.
Imagine sitting,
Exactly.
you know, Kevin, I've seen.
You know what I like the most? Look, I like the mismatch. I like the mush, the mish of chairs.
It's wacky.
It's zany.
And zany, I
It's
like that.
zany.
Too. Zany.
Look at
Gen
that.
Z.
I love it. I love how unpredictable this place is, dude.
Gen Z.
So unpredictable.
Gen
A little
Z,
messy.
zany.
You know, what genius isn't messy? You know what I mean? Like, what genius isn't messy? You know what I mean?
Messy.
Peter Parker. What genius isn't messy?
Peter Parker said that?
Something like that. Yeah,
No,
it's Spider-Man.
I don't
Remember?
think. I don't think. Hold on.
You don't remember that scene?
I don't think Peter Parker ever said that. What genius? Every genius is.
Yeah,
messy.
dude, watch. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, genius is messy. Watch.
No way.
Watch.
What? Get the fuck out of here. No, you're lying. You can't even find. Get out of here. This is not true.
It's in the movie.
Uncle Ben
It's
only
because-
said
It's in the movie.
geniuses are messy. What the fuck?
Yes.
Not every genius is messy, Peter Parker. I'm sorry. I never heard. I don't even know why Spider-Man would
says
ever
it.
even say those words. Why Spider-Man would feel that's an important
He says
point
it.
to get across to anyone ever.
It's because he had a messy room, and his aunt was like, "Oh, but isn't all genius messy?" Aunt May, I think, says it. I think Aunt May
That makes a little
says,
sense.
"Isn't all genius messy?" Spider-Man.
Isn't all genius messy? What the fuck?
I can't find it. Whatever. We're gonna have to do a watch along with the guests, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, back
you
to
know,
the zany video.
Peter
How
Parker
zany this is.
does say shalom when he turns into evil Peter Parker.
That is verified, actually. Yeah,
That's verifiable evidence. Why
that
would
is
he do
verified.
that? He
yeah.
says a Jewish phrase when he turns into
Evil Peter
dark
Parker.
Peter.
I mean,
And we'll talk about the zany room a little bit after.
this is
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.
Oh shit!
this is evil. Turns evil, and he answers the phone.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Internet, freaking,
That's huge. That's deep lore.
is undefeated.
You gotta know a few things. You gotta know a
America's
few
undefeated.
things. Okay, I have actually seen Kevin, the asshole, sit on this lawn chair, kick his feet up on the beanbag.
Oh no!
That's all I'm gonna. That's the
His
last
feet
thing
on
I'll
it?
say about. Yeah. Put his feet on
Oh,
the beanbag in a lawn
no.
chair. He had shoes on. That's why I don't sit on the beanbag. Anyway, I'll drop it. That's the last thing I'll say on that.
As long as you don't go around riding this fucking skateboard thing.
Game consoles.
Whatever this is.
Kevin does.
Other Silicon Valley
asshole.
companies do. They have the same offerings of beanbags and video game consoles that other Silicon Valley companies do, but they also encourage incredibly long hours.
used to have Smash
And
Bros in the-
interestingly,
in
a
the
la
break
carte put
room.
no focus whatsoever. Also encourage
they?
incredibly long hours. And interestingly, Alec Carr put no focus whatsoever on sales, sending out the same people who made the software to pitch it to clients. With all of this talk of company culture though, it's really easy to underestimate the power they could.
You don't need to sell when you're freaking tied to the CIA. Does this make sense?
Yeah,
They're kept afloat. They're kept afloat because they're giving the CIA access to all the information that they're ever going to get from this company. Like, as they grow, the CIA grows as far as their surveillance goes.
So they don't really need
Theoretically,
money. They did like
Yeah,
they
they
just
don't
have
need
access to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, basically, because the
They
CIA.
just need government contracts given to
Right.
them by the CIA. And they're going to be defaulted given all these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we'll pay you this.
And
this.
Mark's trying to
And
take
then-
him. $100 million.
Mark- Well, not from Palantir, but
Hmm.
from like OpenAI and Grok. OpenAI,
Oh, wow. Okay.
X, AI,
Yeah.
Google AI.
If a company or a government agency hired them, they were giving them access to all of the data they had. Palantir would feed it into their software and give them solutions they asked for. But did they store the data? What did they learn from it even if they didn't store it? Each client made Palantir's software smarter and made it see clearer. Knowledge is power, and Palantir turned data into knowledge. For the first few years, the company was almost entirely integrated with the CIA. They were both one of its biggest investors and its only client, drip feeding it contracts as it slowly grew over time. Lots of this early work was based around in-house data management. The CIA
Is that exactly what I said? Basically, just getting contracts from the CIA. They
Yeah.
didn't care about sales, bro. Their only client was the CIA.
Yeah.
A company who actually needs sales and needs to live to survive to like, that's not how they operate, bro. They don't just not worry about clients.
Yeah. They have.
CIA already had plenty of information, they just needed someone to link together and consolidate their separate databases. Then the project expanded to their government organizations and Palantir integrated their information as well. All of this was then put into a unified platform, which government employees could easily access with the right clearance. Though the first real test came with the War on Terror, there's no other arena where data and knowledge is more important than military intelligence. It was especially true in the kinds of wars America was fighting where they lost far more men and vehicles to roadside IEDs than to enemy soldiers. Knowing who the insurgents were, the location of booby traps and where they were hiding was absolutely key. Palantir offered a solution. Using the data management technology they'd been developing, they could put together all the different sorts of information that the US was gathering. Drone footage, satellite imagery, reports from soldiers on the ground. It was all fed into their algorithms to figure
I
out
heard
who was an
something about
innocent
birds.
farmer and who was an
wrap up.
enemy
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And their eyes.
Same. Uh-huh.
And the proteins they have in their eyes.
Uh-huh.
And how it allows them to, like, quantumly view a grid on the ground from above. And that's how their vision is so good and they're able to pinpoint shit on the ground, is because some protein in their eye is able to pick up like a location that something is at and just going on that location. Almost like a lock-on system, maybe that's what it is, or I don't know, but like
Palantir.
yeah, I don't know about
Do you think
Palantir, but that did come into my mind. It's like a quantum type protein that just exists.
I thought you were
in
gonna say
nature.
like birds were fake and like they're using birds as cameras. And I'm like, yeah, dude, they totally are.
I know they are. I believe that. Like not all birds, but yes, bird cameras. There's no reason why they shouldn't be in the air already.
Bird cameras 100% exist, bro.
Mm.
there's a video on that. I'll find
I'll
it
die on
for
that
the
hill.
document next time.
combatants.
I will die on
Palantir
that hill
called
as
it
well.
a God Eye view. An account from Annie Jacobson's book First Platoon describes how this worked during the war in Afghanistan. Palantir had flagged what looked like an Afghan farmer because of one strange detail about him, unlike most other Afghan farmers. He wore a purple hat. Over a period
Nice.
of weeks, an intelligence operative watched his daily movements, learning his patterns. At first, it did just seem too strange to be true, but then after seeing the man lay an IED by the roadside, it became clear he was working as an insurgent and a strike was scheduled. But when the day and opportunity came, something seemed off to the operative. The man they were tracking looked and seemed the same, but he was acting very slightly differently. If it was up to the software, he would have been blown sky high, but the operative knew something was off. Even though he was still wearing the purple purple hat, he just wasn't acting like he usually did. Just minutes before the final call had to be made, the real target emerged from his home and confirmed the operative's suspicions. The person they'd been tracking the entire day was someone completely different, someone completely innocent. With just moments to spare, the operative called off the strike. And it's these kinds of mistakes that were dangerously common at first. When they rolled back the tape, it turned out that a glitch in the camera system they had used made a different man's hat look purple, and that had caused the confusion. But over time, Palantir's systems got much more sophisticated. Soon, they began being—
That is a rare case where the guy gets saved. Like,
Yeah, right.
a lot of times
they were just goofing the whole time.
wipe their hands of it.
They just didn't talk about it.
able to accurately predict people's future movements. We know of all of this because someone in the loop talked about it after the fact, but we don't know how many mistakes they usually make or think they made. The data is just obviously not publicly available to us, but it hasn't stopped this technology developing incredibly quickly, and the effects are harder to see. Palantir may have well prevented lots of bad things from happening, but it might have also caused lots of them as well. All the mistakes they made and the patterns they saw led to real-world actions. Soldiers almost certainly interrogated innocent civilians because the system flagged them as untrustworthy. Harsh measures and military force will have made regular people more bitter and angry, pushing them towards insurgency. There's nothing to gain in making something more efficient if the war itself is useless and endless anyway, only creating more conflict later on. An endless series of wars is perfect for Palantir though, as it lets them test out their gadgets in various war zones across the world, optimizing their system to be as deadly and accurate as possible. And today, we can commonly find it in use in Ukraine and Gaza. And now, most of the job is just
Gotta set up my schedule for tomorrow morning.
done by AI, with very little human intervention or decision required. A kind of chatbot style program provided by Palantir offers up suggestions to commanders like a waiter making recommendations off a wine list. But they're also now getting into hardware, building AI powered tanks and other weapon
So
systems.
slowly building. It
And
starts
with
from PayPal into surveillance, into CIA, into military defense, using them to survey also. They've been in the game for so long. They're finally coming to the surface, but they've been in the background doing shit for the country for so long.
That's the chain you climb. You go like CIA, then you start doing shit for like the military. Like, that's where the money is. That's why all these wars are started, is to give money to the military.
The guaranteed
Warmongers and shit.
Contracts and shit too.
So this SEAL guy is a warmonger. If wars happen, then his companies sell things to the military. So
yes.
he would love
no matter
for a
what.
war to break out. If a war breaks out,
Like, no matter what.
Peter Thiel gets a big boost in his profit.
Yep.
If war breaks out.
Yep. Absolutely. It doesn't
What a
matter. He
dick.
wins either way.
the world going in the direction it currently is, it's absolutely no wonder why everyone's now talking about them.
That Palantir teaming with Musk's XAI. Teaming back all these people that worked with PayPal and split up are now coming back together to own your information and survey you.
And their stock has shot up dramatically, as this technology and integration with the US deep state would be enough by itself to make Palantir incredibly powerful, but it definitely isn't enough for Alex Karp, Thiel, or Palantir. Instead, they decided to turn their gaze inwards to use the same surveillance technology on the home front. Using these same systems, Palantir has been an essential partner of police forces across the West for years now. They've been most famous for their software that lets police departments engage in something known as predictive policing. In the same way that Palantir
Minority Report.
predicted which Afghan farmers were insurgents, they can also predict which regular people are involved with crime. Based on all the data that police forces have about people, they can
His 1,000-word essays. Because he's saying some really cool information, but he's saying it in like this. Technology would be able to specifically pick out a definite person that would potentially commit something kinds of crime with this much accuracy.
Well,
It's
powerful
like,
speech.
oh my God.
It builds, depth.
Johnny
can
Depp.
draw up district or citywide maps of where
Johnny
crime
Depp.
is likely to occur. They can then suggest patrol routes, where to station officers, and even which people to arrest. These systems often do nothing to actually counteract the inherent bias in the data they're given. When police patrol more often a given area, they find more crime and make more reports. That then gets fed into the system, which tells the police to invest more resources into that specific high crime area. But this is definitely not the worst part of the system though. You see, Vice obtained documents given by Palantir to a California police force they had a contract with in 2016,
crazy.
and the details were shocking. With their easy-to-use system, a police officer could simply type someone's name in and learn a staggering amount of information
And
about
they're
them.
gonna run these
Palantir
15-minute
would
cities.
They're gonna run dude. They're running.
Oh,
They are
no.
running everything right now.
Oh god.
tell them
yeah.
what their email address was.
They're behind everything. The
That's
government,
right.
any surveillance.
They've seen my incognito
on,
search
it's-
history.
It's Palantir.
Have they seen my incognito? Fuck. I'm screwed. I am so
phone number, their date of birth, and their address. With just a license plate number, it could look at footage from public CCTV and figure out specific locations you'd been over a period of years, building up a complete pattern.
Look at that. If police have a name that's associated with a license plate, they can use automatic license plate reader data to find out where you've been
Yeah.
and where and when you've been there. With
like
the
when-
name, police can also.
when you have
Go
a
ahead.
cop following the back of your car, they have a camera on the front of their cars that's reading your license plate and telling them where you've been, who you are,
Where you been?
what
Yeah.
your record is.
Where and when you were last.
So if they're behind you,
Based on say when you used PayPal last or when you swiped your credit card.
yeah. If you should be pulled over and they're behind you, and they don't pull you over, it's because they don't want to. I think.
They
At
might
this
pull
point,
you
they
over
can
if they
do
can't
it.
figure out where you've been for a long time. Say there's like a
Right.
3-month gap of wait, where this guy
Right.
where how come this guy hasn't shown up for 3 months?
This car hasn't been on the road.
I'm just gonna pull them
None of
over.
our
I'm gonna
police
find out
cruisers-
some.
None of our police cruisers AIs have picked up this license plate in the past 3 months. Where's this car coming out of nowhere now?
Yeah. Whoa. Wait a minute. Where have they been for the last 3 months? And then they'll find some bullshit reason to pull you over and say, hey, what's going
Yeah.
on here? Like,
Snoop
because
around.
the gap in an activity is gonna be weird to them.
Right.
That's weird. You're not gonna be allowed to just pay cash for anything anymore. I can almost
Not
promise you
allowed.
it's connected to your credit card, just in case say you go missing
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
get kidnapped or and then your
Yeah,
credit card is
that's what
found
they
swiped.
say. It's for
And
your
then it also
security.
says with a name, police can also find a person's email address, phone number, current and previous address, bank accounts, social security, business relationships, family, and license
Wow.
information. With a name, well, obviously license info. But that's insane, and that's all thank you to Palantir.
Pattern of movement. It could even link you to other people you spend time with and find out info on them as well. This is an invaluable tool in the hands of someone looking
Terrible.
to control people.
So
Both Orwell
how
and
come
1,000
Anonymous
historical
isn't, like,
dictators
hacking
couldn't have
Palantir?
dreamed of a more
Why is
effective tool
Anonymous
for
hacking,
keeping
like, the
track of their
PSN?
people's movements, patterns, and inner private
Because-
lives. So aren't we lucky that our leaders are so much more
I don't think
responsible and
they do
trustworthy?
anything, really.
Unfortunately, it isn't just
they
policing
just like
either.
to
Palantir has
talk-
gotten
they like to talk
looking to
shit.
every
Half of these
level
anonymous videos that we see are mentioning are even made by the real anonymous.
Right. There's some hacking groups though, maybe not anonymous, that actually do shit like that. Someone go after Palantir. Take it down.
Unfortunately, it isn't just policing either. Palantir has gotten its claws into every level of government. In the UK, the National Health Service recently signed a deal to hand over the entirety of their data, a treasure trove of medical records and patient info, to Palantir. And the laughable thing is that they don't get paid for this. In fact, it's the UK taxpayers that are paying Palantir $500 million to manage and analyze this for the government. This data,
And that's going to be us very soon, if not already. Our tax money is going towards surveillance on
yes.
ourselves.
which should have remained private anyway, is invaluable for fighting future
In the name of national security.
pandemics and assessing how effective different treatments are. Experts have described this as being one of the most valuable resources the UK had. The US had nothing to compare because of its separated private healthcare system. It's like Saudi Arabia paying a private company to take their oil off their hands. And now it's in Palantir's hands, along with all the confidential patient data that came along with it. The irony of all of this is that Palantir's biggest investor, founder, and shareholder, Peter Thiel, is keen on advertising how libertarian he really is. He pays lip service to the talking points on podcasts, makes a splash in political circles by donating to Republicans, and he was the first big name from Silicon Valley to jump on the Trump train.
We're voting for Trump because we judge the leadership of
I feel like he just already knew where he would be fitting in. Like they.
Yeah.
our country to have failed. Now that someone different is in the running, someone who rejects the false, reassuring stories that tell us everything is fine.
But the fact is, though, that this all runs completely counter to what he does and who he really is. He literally owns the company that's pioneering the new deep state, an unholy union between Silicon Valley privacy invasion and deep state power.
Yeah.
It isn't just
It is. It's like Silicon Valley and CIA are finally merging.
Yeah.
It's the fear that everyone was talking about.
taking over the world, it already has. And now Palantir's coming up.
There you go. That's how you can invest.
Oh yeah.
TLTR. It's $107 a share, and they're only gonna get more, dude. I can almost guarantee you can.
Yeah.
Probably a good time to buy. It's probably
Look at
worth
that.
either to get something like Palantir or put your cash into Bitcoin, because your dollar is going to hell. That's all I gotta
Whoa.
say.
out of the shadows with the IPO and their public contracts with big banks and corporations. All of Karp and Thiel's political theatrics are a smokescreen for their true place in the power structure. The maintenance and extension of the surveillance state is a bipartisan issue for them, one of the only things they agree on. Those in power, be they Democrats or Republicans, Labour or Conservatives, are always pushing it a little bit further. This is why Palantir has grown so quickly and will grow even larger over time. They fit right into the same mouldy old power structure, increasing its reach into people's lives. Meanwhile, they profit from conflict, chaos, and fear. Even their name makes reference to this, Palantir. In The Lord of the Rings, the Palantir were magical orbs which could be used to see things across great distances, like an all-seeing eye. Alex Karp insists that the company's role is to protect the Shire.
The way you dominate the future is you dominate the present. I want America to be American in 1,000 years.
And they often boast about all the tragedies they prevented over the years, but people never asked for their sinister protection.
It's like facial recognition, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Minority Report, dude.
Right.
We don't even know the extent of how much freedom we've lost because of
Scanning your eyes as you walk into a store, so then it shows you exactly what you like
Yeah.
and tells you what you want on sale. And like the store
Knows what you
customizes
feel
to
like.
you.
all of this. Meanwhile, both
Yep.
Karp and Thiel have enriched themselves to the tune
This is
of
it welcomes you. Welcome in, Jason.
billions of dollars, and the stock
Nice.
market is going absolutely crazy for Palantir.
That's it, brother.
Well, guys.
Anyway, yeah, I gotta get going though. I know it's yeah, I gotta get
Palantir
going.
episode was great. You know, I feel like we're gonna have some more
So much
to talk
more
about
to say.
with Palantir and
So much
upcoming
more.
episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys, for watching the first episode of season 2 of
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
Neon Popsicle.
See y'all next time.
If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends.
Yes.
Hit the like button on your way out.
We see you guys subscribing, so keep it up. Thank you so much.
We don't
Keep
mind.
sharing.
We don't mind if you break the 22 streak. All right, give us a 23rd subscription. We'd love that a little more. Until
Yeah,
next time.
absolutely.
Good night.